le premesse potrebbe non sembrare, ma in questa giornata abbiamo abbandonato tutto quello che è stile, moda, glamour, ci siamo tuffati nel bosco, in mezzo alle radici e al fango. Downhill, Steve Peat. Steve Peat, you just won last year the World Championship, but when did you start your career?
I started riding bikes when I was about 3 years old. I had 2 older brothers, and I used to chase them around the streets and around my neighbourhood at home. And so I started riding from a really young age, but I didn't actually start racing mountain bikes until I was 18.
Some of your fans wrote that you made more for the bicycle than the Egyptian made for the construction. What do you think about it?
Yeah, that's a pretty funny question. It was Rob Warner commentating on Freecaster that he said that quote about the Egyptians. So I don't know, I think it's just because I've been in downhill for so long, and I've always been at the top of the sport, and I've always tried to help out younger riders and bring people into the sport, so I guess I put a lot back into downhill as well.
Which are the best races you won in your career?
Obviously I've won lots of different races in my career, and I think the first time that I ever won a World Cup race was in 1998. It was in a place called Snoqualmie in America, and that was a pretty special feeling that day to know that you're the fastest guy. And
in your worst race, I can think about Leger maybe when you...
Yeah, I think Leger in 2005 was the World Championships. I just came off a broken collarbone, so I crashed in the last turn, so that one plays on my mind a lot, and I think that's the first time I ever cried at a race. went in the back of the van and sat there on my own and cried, and I still think about that race a lot.
I've read you describe yourself as a pure downhiller but enjoys all other aspects of cycling.
Yeah, I like road cycling. I mean, Cadell Evans is a bit of a hero of mine. He used to race mountain bikes, so it's good to see a guy that raced mountain bikes and come into road cycling. But I think any of those guys that ride the Tour de France and finish the Tour de France are pretty special athletes. It's such a tough race. It's good to see.
You said you think downhill is the hardest sport in the world. It was a sentence you pronounced about the mental preparation. Why? Is it so important?
Yeah, I think downhill is really big for mental preparation. It's you and your bike and the hill. There's dangers of the roots, the rocks, the trees. The focus that we have to get into before a race is massive. For instance, if you race Formula 1, you get 40 laps to, if you make a small mistake somewhere, you get 40 laps to redo that mistake. Or if you're playing football, you've got another 11 guys, another 10 guys behind you that can help you if you make a small mistake. But in downhill, it's just you and the bike and the hill, so the pressures of that are pretty huge.
Not a rider, what would you have done in your life?
Before I started riding, I was actually a plumber. I was working in construction and just doing plumbing around my local town at home. And if I didn't discover riding, maybe I'd still be plumbing. Drinking on the weekends and plumbing through the week.
Okay. I've read that you also produce beer, whiskey or something like that. Something alcoholic.
Yeah, no, I don't really produce it. I sometimes make a bit of cider or a bit of wine from the fruits I have in my garden, but we did some whiskey at Fort William a few years ago and just put our own label on it, but we bought the whiskey from somewhere else, so I didn't make it myself.
Okay, but you like beer?
Yeah, I like a beer. This Italian stuff is pretty good.
Which kind of dad are you?
What kind of dad am I?
Yeah.
Hopefully my kids think I'm a fun-loving, good dad.
Okay. And what about your dreams?
My dream?
As a man and as a champion?
I think I've achieved so much in mountain biking. I don't have any major dreams that I want to sort of tick off now. I just want to keep having fun and riding my bike for the rest of my life.
What about sentences? Is there a sentence that can describe Steve Pitt?
A sentence. Eat when you're hungry, drink when you're thirsty, and shag when you're horny. How's that one?
Fantastic.
Good for Playboy.
Ed allora diamo il benvenuto a Steve Pitt, al coniglietto più spericolato che si sia mai visto nel magico mondo di Playboy.
Nice Playboy, thanks for reading.
Estate 2010, Steve Pitt, Playboy.